Hey everyone, welcome to another review of Neon Genesis Evangelion. We're going to continue on with the series. We're on episode number 20. Um, this episode is a very big setup for what's coming to be. And it's going to be something that is absolutely one of those shows where you go, There are no angels in this show. Everything that's happening here is based on the last episode, which was when the 13th angel came in. Shinji once again quit. He fought him in an absolutely brutal scene, and we get this episode and we find out a couple of interesting things, a couple of callbacks, and we know where we're going for the future. The first part of this episode is called Form of the Mind, Form of the Man. Okay, this episode starts off very simply. Shinji has been sucked into Unit 1. Don't know how, but because they had synchronized so much that Shinji's no longer human. He has no physical shape. This is very important because it leads to scenes that will play out once again in episode 25 and 26 when the show wraps up. So, if you don't like this episode, you're probably not going to like the ending. Well, most people don't like the ending. I think it's kind of interesting. Long philosophical conversations between Masato and Ritsuko. That storyline hasn't ended yet. They're at odds. Once again, Ritsuko or Masato is saying she's not understanding what's going on. Ritsuko has very deep understanding, which we're gonna be revealed when we get into later episodes. But that's kind of it. I was wrong when I said in my review earlier that this is the last time we see the council. They show up once again, and it's really unclear how the council and Seele work, because the council's kind of really being stripped away from and Seele's more being focused on, but whatever. In a rare feat of vulnerability, I want to say, Gendo asks Kaji what's going on. Kaji's a very complex character, and I kind of think that should be brought up in a different video, especially since I'm trying to keep this shit spoiler free, or at least this part. When we revisit it, everything's off the board. But yeah, Shinji's trapped in the unit. We see the fallouts of everything from the last battle. Rei is injured, and of course she's injured. Asuka's absolutely devastated, and once again she had to be saved by Shinji. Character development, absolutely. Not to go off on a tangent, but real quick, you have to realize Asuka came from this person who was absolutely knowing her fate. Not only did she know her fate, she knew she was the best, and slowly as the show goes on, and it's not to say she's not a good character or to degrade her, it's the fact that, well, her ego is slowly being compromised, and that's a larger theory for episode 24. But yeah, this is pretty good. or this is really good character development across the board. The later half of this episode ends up with Shinji having more or less an existential context with his sub-ego. And once again, this is 100% a setup for what's going to be happening at the end. And he has talks with himself. He has talks with who he projects other people to be talking about him, and it's actually kind of really impressive. In all honesty, he thinks about his relationships through flashbacks and whatnot with every character in the show, and it's actually, profound, but at the same time it is 100% a setup for the endings. So yeah, we're gonna go to the second part, and this is episode 20. The American title card is called Weaving a Story 2, Oral Stage. Okay, we're still dealing with the impact of the last episode. Everyone's working hard to figure out how the hell do we get Shinji back into a human. And once again, we see a lot of the stuff we will be seeing in the last two episodes. And there's kind of an interesting part where, Misato is fighting for Shinji. That can be taken a lot of ways, especially since Misato and Shinji's relationship is kind of taken a lot of different ways. They're either parent and child, they're either on the same level, or there's a kind of interesting undertone. But there's parts of this that go to different lengths because this is spoiler. This is the last time you see Kaji and Misato together in a scene, and they have a rather interesting romantic scene where vocally wise, what they're talking about is absolutely funny as hell, but they're also doing it in an intimate setting. So yeah, this episode is not action heavy. It's a lot more thinking about the past, thinking about the future, stuff like that. I don't know how to rate it in far as what type of episode it is, but it's definitely a look at towards what we're getting. With the existential stuff where Shinji is dreaming and pondering about what the characters think about him and stuff like that, and a lot where it's your choice what ending you choose. That's about it. Yeah, I'm really enjoying this show, so talk to you later.